Okay, this is pod number 2. I have Mason with me for Precision X Outdoors. So pretty much you just have to explain yourself, who you are. So
Oh, no.
yeah, you just tell
All
me
right.
who you are. Tell the people who you are.
All right, I got you. I'm Mason Motif, the owner of Boundless Taxidermy. I've been hunting deer since the age of 5. Been turkey hunting since right around there too. I've done countless duck hunting trips, bear hunting, trapping, pretty much anything you can think of. I've done it at
Yeah,
least
you
once.
you've traveled, you've haven't you fished in Canada and stuff,
Yep,
and
Canada, different states, down south, out west, over in the east.
there you go. So that's pretty much what you do, and you want to kind of explain what you do for taxidermy.
So for taxidermy, I European mounts mainly. That's what I got started on. I do backpack mounts. I do pelts. I do like turkey fans. I've done some like full body partridge and pheasant. I've done a couple other odds and ends of like specialty work of rugs and done a couple hats, raccoon hats, and that's about it. Would love to get into shoulder mounts, but I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
just a
stuff.
lot of room. So I've done everything up to shoulder mounts, just haven't fully gotten to that yet.
But you like tan hides and stuff and all that.
Yep, everything from start to finish is out of my house. So
That's crazy. Um, yeah, so it's pretty, what is the name of that again?
Boundless Taxidermy.
Boundless?
It's still under Legendary Skulls right now. If you find it on Facebook or stumble across it somewhere, but it's getting changed over to that.
Yeah, because technically you need a license for some of that stuff.
Yep, right now it's non LLC, but I might get tied into it. So
There you go. Um, well, pretty much what the first video of people seen it, I actually a lot of people kind of watched it and stuff. The first one was kind of just explaining what we are, what's going to happen and stuff, and pretty much I'll explain to you. Like first couple minutes is just who you are, introduce yourself, and then about half of it is just going to be experience and stories, and then at the end I'm going to ask you questions, and then
perfect.
move on. So you kind of just read again right away to get into it. I asked Bob this too, like first memory hunting or outdoors ish.
First memory of hunting was, like I said, age 5 up in northern Michigan. It was my first year of hunting, and I was youth hunt, my first youth hunt up there in roughly 3 to 4 feet of snow. So for me at 5 years old, that was pretty rough in a
Steep.
beat up old XJ, Jeep XJ. That was me, my dad, my grandpa, and sat out there, took off of school, sat out there, and last day ended up smoking a nub buck. So that was my first buck and hauling that back there, and that was a tradition all the way till I want to say 12 years old. So that was kind of the first like true hunting memory, and I mean outdoor memories as long as I can remember growing up, just going up north to our cabin and that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of telling Bob about this stuff, and we were kind of talking about like, I think at least for the state of Wisconsin, everyone that hunts at least, either even people that don't hunt, know someone has done it or has heard about going up north hunting.
Yep.
There's always some random story, even if it's your dad or your grandpa passing down stories and stuff. And that's the kind of the stuff I want to kind of give out there to experience because, like, that brings a big part of the hunting community together here, and people
Yep.
enjoy that.
It's always you're always going to remember your early hunts. That's something that'll
Yeah.
stick with you
I mean, they
forever.
could be the most bullshit hunt. You could kill
Exactly.
nothing, but you still enjoyed it.
You're always going to gain something every year
Hmm.
that you'll look back on.
Okay, let's roll right into this. What does hunting mean to you?
It means a lot, to be honest. Not only is it like to feed myself and to enjoy outdoors, but like I said, it's also a income for me. That's where a decent chunk of my money comes from.
Mm,
So for me personally, I see it as business on one hand, but on the other hand, I see it as a very freeing opportunity to just kind of get away from everyday work and life and everything that comes with running my own business and just be able to get out there by myself or with a close group of buddies, sit out there for a couple hours, even if I don't shoot anything, and just kind of regain that sanity for
mm.
the little bit of time you get to kind of recharge and be out there with the Lord if you are religious. I
Right.
am, but
That's a big part of about the podcast. I want to lean that way.
okay.
There's
Yep.
some of that stuff, so you're good.
All right.
But No, it's a
Is it
huge
still
thing.
recording?
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay, I was about
Even if
to
it
say.
breaks, yeah, it does. Yeah, I would made sure last time it does. But do you kind of want to right away kind of roll into like if you're good explaining like someone like I just shot a buck
Yep.
last night. If I would bring you the head,
Mm.
kind of just go into what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Just explain. Do you want to explain that? How you kind of
Yeah, I can do
break that
that.
down?
So, pretty much what happens most of the time, 'cause now I've really started getting into like newer customers and they
Hmm.
find me out and about. Normally, what happens, they'll message me like privately on Messenger, or they'll find my email or phone number off the business card or through somebody they know, and they'll text me. Normally, I'm home, they'll come drop it off. We'll talk bullshit for a little bit, or they'll drop it off of there. And from them, if I have like a waiting list kind of, then it gets thrown in the freezer and put onto a like a Google Doc type thing. I go down the list. If I don't got anything going on, it's straight onto the cutting board, gets scun out, start soaking it to boil. Then a couple days later, take it out of that soak, boil it, boils all the meat off, and bring it down to the wash station. Go through it with some little picks, hand tools, real clean it out, air compressors and that. Then that sits in the first whitening stage. Pull it out, let it dry for a couple days. Then goes back into a second whitening stage. Pull it out, and final whitening stage. Pull it out, let it sit. After that, it gets sealed, and I take it, throw it on a plaque, which I also make. So for the plaques, all that wood is taken from up at our cabin up in Hamburg, Athelstein, if you're familiar with
Yep.
up there.
Yep.
So take that, cut them trees down. It's all fallen cedars mainly that we want off the property. Plane them down, cut them whole 9 yards, burn them, slap that onto the back of the skull, put our business card, and off she goes.
Yeah. So, but you guys are more using chemicals for the whitening, right?
Yep, all chemical.
Instead of like I've done it before where I'm boiling with just water
Yep.
and soap, which takes a long time. But like you're more using more like acidy stuff that just kind of melts it off.
Yep, it's a lot of trial and error and
Yeah.
knowing people and just kind of.
Once you get it dialed though, it's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, my dad, he started it years and years ago. And then I started doing it about 5, 6 years ago, branched off the last 3 years.
Hmm.
And even in that 3 years, pretty much every year I learned something new, something to improve it. Not, might not even be to shorten the time, might lengthen the time, but the product gets better somehow.
Yeah, it gets a lot better. Like even me boiling the water is like you can get them dialed, but it's it takes time, and
You
the time takes it. They turn out nice and stuff, and it's
exactly.
all preference stuff. Like I know guys that bury them and bugs and stuff, and I'm like, that's crazy. I mean, that takes over a year,
You
and that's like you don't even know if it's gonna be great.
yeah, but that's how I see it. My normal turnaround is 2 to 3 months.
That's I mean, there's good shoulder mount time. There's like a year,
Yo,
give or take, which is crazy to
I
think
do, I
about.
try to keep them
Yeah,
down. If they get them to me early in the season when I'm still lightly hunting, they could get them back in a month. But if they get it to me during rut or that, they're not seeing it for
yeah,
that 2 to 3.
which is fair to you.
Exactly. Like I tell them, I still have a life. If
Exactly.
they want, I have people saying that they can do it faster, cheaper themselves. They want to go do it. You
Then-
can do it. I'm charging you double when you bring it back when you mess up.
Exactly. That's fair, and yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to get into, and a lot of people don't know how to do that, and it's kind of like a
It is something that's dying out.
yeah,
Going from, I talk to a lot of like professional licensed, like have done this for years,
mhm.
taxidermists, and they say the same thing that it is a very dying line of work,
I mean, to find a taxidermist now is crazy.
especially for a decent price.
Yeah, and that's the problem now. Less taxidermists, they're gonna raise their prices on it and stuff, and you went from paying $300 for a shoulder mount to well over $1,000, which is crazy. And then even in the last 10 years.
Exactly. Yep. My first deer that I got mounted was I was 10 years old from the UP again, 6 point, and that was I think $700,
Hmm.
750. And now my last year I got mounted, what was that? A year and a half ago was over $1,000. So I mean, even just in that amount of time, it
Couple
jumped.
years, yeah,
Yup.
that's crazy. And I feel like that's just like a good thing because if guys don't want to go out there and blow the money on shoulder mounts, and if you offer like beautiful skull mounts, that's
Hmm.
day and night difference and stuff. And it's like I know a lot of guys who have trophy bucks and they just did a skull mount on them.
I know it's nuts. I got people like out from Montana and that they'll
Hmm.
bring in these giant antelope, giant mule deer,
Hmm.
stuff that even whitetail around here, stuff that I would never think about getting
Yeah,
a head mount. And it saves space, it looks good, and that's what they want.
it's simple, clean, and it's just that's
Exactly.
a cool thing. And yeah, it's definitely a cool thing to get into and check out. And if you guys get something, definitely reach out. You do a good job. I've seen a lot of your
Yeah.
work and it looks really good. But yeah, but then you also tan.
Yep.
You tan stuff.
Yep.
That's
Anything and
crazy.
everything. I've done flying squirrels that we've gotten legally
Yeah,
with the DNR. That sounds pretty controversial
yeah,
when you say
yeah,
it first, but I've done everything from flying squirrels that are paper thin all the way to like full bear hides. I've done cow hides. I've done longhorns,
yeah.
everything.
It's crazy. Well, like, I'm just trying to think. You want to maybe, like, what is, I guess the simplest way to go through it if you're gonna tan, what's the simplest thing for you to tan?
Simplest thing, I've been doing raccoons since I was pretty much like 8 years old. I
Yeah.
pump out a raccoon like matter like 2 weeks. So pretty much that. Either say somebody was bringing in a
I'm
raccoon.
bringing you
Yep.
a skinned out raccoon.
Yep, that's the thing. I like them skinned. I don't like when people bring me the full
And then you're
animals.
getting a whole body and you gotta
Except
dispose of
I
it.
gotta dispose of the
Yeah.
carcass. But you bring me a skinned out raccoon. Most of the time, people quote unquote skin them, leave all the skin or meat on it still.
Yeah.
So I'll go through with the fleshing knife,
Okay.
clean her on off, throw her in some salt for a little while. That sits in there. Flip it and put new salt in every so often. Pull that out, clean it off again with that fleshing knife, some other knives, just get it real nice and
So does that salt just dry it out?
yep,
It's just
pull
drying like that meat,
yep,
that
starts
moisture
pulling
out of
out
it.
all the juices and that,
Okay.
gets it real nice and dry and makes it easier to
Flush.
pull
Yeah.
yep, flesh out. But yep, pull it out of there then, the salt, clean up one last time, that goes into a pickle. After the pickle, it sits there and dries.
How long does it stay in that pickle for? Is it like a day?
Pickle, you can leave it in there. Normally, the least I'll do is like a week, but you could leave it in there for 5 years. If you do it right, check the pH, you can leave it in there forever.
Yeah, just like a jar of pickles.
Exactly, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's
that's crazy.
mainly just knowing, and you can find it all online and
Yeah.
critique it, but it's mainly just your pH levels. You keep that steady and you're good to go.
Okay.
So after that pickle, then pull her out, tan it. Then once that tan's nice and set, wash her on off, and then start breaking it.
So the actual tanning stuff, not to interrupt you, but the tanning
Okay.
stuff, what is it? Is it like putting heat on that or what it like
For mine, it's I go through Mackenzie Taxidermy, and it's just a bottle of like tanning liquid. I've had other stuff too, where you like kind of soak it in some water, then you just apply that.
okay,
Like not super heavy, it's kind of like a nice film all across it. You let it sit.
okay.
You put it all on the skin. You take the hide inside out, put it on there, roll it up, let it sit.
And then you don't have to you're not stretching it out when that's tanning like that.
Nope, you let that sit for a while, then you wash it off, it'll harden, and then that's when you start
And
breaking
then
it.
you break the
Yep, break
pellet
all the fibers and make it real nice and soft.
and then pretty much are you done from there then?
Yep, once it's broken, she's good to go.
Then you can hang it on the wall, sew a
Hang on
hat
the
together.
exactly, yep.
That's pretty
Sewing,
cool.
you gotta break it. Break it a lot
Yeah.
longer than anything else. So I've done a couple of those, like I said, and it ain't fun, but
Yeah.
it's doable.
I mean that's crazy. I mean you think about a raccoon and then I mean, what do you do with like a 300-pound bear? How do you pickle that? What are you putting that in a bathtub? I mean, you filling your bathtub at home, or
Pretty much.
what are you doing
For
for that?
ours, it was a old cow feed drum, so
Oh, okay,
like 4.5 feet in diameter drum and probably like 3 feet tall. Filled that all up. It ain't fun, but it's doable.
you fill
So,
it
yep.
full.
Same with breaking. That's like a 2 to 3 person job to break
Yeah,
one of them pelts. So
that's crazy. But they turn out super nice and they last forever. And do you guys like if someone wants a rug,
yep.
a bear rug, do you guys do the skull and stuff on them, do like the fake skulls, or you guys just pretty much hand them the rug and they insert it?
We've done like the fake skulls and that. We don't get many requests for
Yeah.
them. Normally we'll just like put the head. We won't break the head so it stays stiff on its own
Okay.
and just kind of shape that and put it down. But
Okay. Yeah, because I've done a couple of stuff or tried some stuff out like that, and it's crazy. It
It-
takes a long time. If you know what you're doing, I mean, you're in and out.
yep,
You
but
know what you're doing.
especially once you get into them bigger things, it's pretty insane how long
Dude,
it
have you
takes.
had people bring you whitetails just to tan hides out of, or
Yep, all the time. I get
yeah,
quite a few whitetail hides.
just some, yeah, that's pretty cool. And no, I'm trying to think. Do you get like anything random? Like, have you gotten like bobcats or like
Yep, bobcats. Like I said, I've gotten antelope. Somebody's pet cow. I've gotten to
that's
do.
crazy. That's
I did a what was that? Last year actually, I did a African Watusi bull. That was pretty quick, pretty sweet.
yeah, just a big ass,
Yep,
not
big
even from
yep,
around here.
big longhorn, and that was definitely a learning curve.
Is that a lot of pressure to have something so unique on your shoulders?
That was rough because I've never done like an actual bull skull, and to know this was like something where this was my bull, I paid good money for it.
It's across the pond.
Exactly. It's like, man, I really don't want to screw this up. So there's a lot of networking with people that I know that do taxidermy for
Yeah,
years and years, and just kind of learning about that.
it's crazy, but that's
So
I don't know if I trust myself with something like that.
yeah, no, it's definitely a learning curve. That was another one of them things where I pretty much had to make my own
Yeah,
everything to do it in
yeah,
because everything I have wasn't big enough to fit a longhorn in.
yeah. No, did you see full-bodied pheasants?
Yep, I've done birds,
Like,
ducks, birds.
did they turn out pretty nice or like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like
yeah,
professional by any means, but I mean, for doing it for only a decent of like 5 years or
yeah,
whatever, I'm getting pretty decent
yeah.
now.
Have you done a lot of anything crazy ducks or like just
Nothing crazy for ducks.
mallards
Yeah,
and just,
mainly mallards. I've done a couple woodies for like me and my buddies, some redheads, stuff like that,
yeah,
but nothing too nuts yet.
yeah, that's crazy because, I know people you could take a duck there and you could spend $500 on a duck, or you could be looking more like 2 grand for a
Yep.
single duck, which is like blows my mind. I
I'd
mean,
love to get into stuff like that, but
yeah, like I mean, if you look in here, like my uncle did, that's a mergansers. That's
yep.
a bird he shot. That's a redhead. That thing looks like a plucked chicken on the table there. It's super messed up. And there's a teal up there, and this is like it's just old stuff, but they don't look terrible. But like I just got
No,
this walleye done. We take a picture at the end, so then it'll be on there, the cover picture.
gotcha.
So, but there's a walleye did there. That was some guy on the Orange Bridge did that by Potter. He
Okay.
did that. That was like $300, and then I got that down when I was little.
Mm,
Caught that the day my brother was born. But yeah, I caught this actually like in Voyager Park here, pretty much in town, all of 10 inches or 10 minutes from here.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy spot. And yeah, I had all my stuff to film this deer hunt yesterday,
Mm.
and I didn't bring anything with me.
That's how I got. I bought all them Tacticams and
Yeah,
GoPros and that, and I haven't used it one duck hunt this year.
I shot a nice buck yesterday, and it was just like great first buck ever, actually.
Really?
Ever, I've never shot a buck in my entire life. This is
That was a good first buck then.
I've I've hunted this property. This is like 3 years of just me hunting it by
Mm.
myself, 100%. I hunted a lot out there just for bow.
Yep.
I'll occasionally December don't hunt out there, but I've probably passed. I'm not even joking you, probably $50, and I've missed two. And the one I missed was actually smaller than the one I actually harvested, and the first one I missed was huge.
Yep.
And it's just like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're gonna pass all these little bucks, and you're never gonna shoot a monster. Like you're never gonna get a buck. You're gonna die before then." It's just like
Yep.
you gotta wait. Neighbors are good on conservation on them and stuff, and like versus I go to cribbets on the public land, and it's like
If you don't shoot it, somebody else
yeah,
will.
which is like the thing that sucks. Like you'd like to see them, and like the buck I shot was they think is between 3.5 and 4 years old.
Yep.
Which is like super cool to think about because up north, and like
You're
you're lucky
lucky
to
to.
hit two.
Yep. You're lucky for 2.5, three and a
Yeah,
half.
yeah, that's kind of some pretty crazy stuff. But no, where did you went to Canada this year?
Yep.
You
Can
for fishing?
fishing trip, week and a half fishing
You
trip.
kind of want to explain what all happened there?
That
If you behaved or I
yeah.
don't want you to get in trouble for anything if we did anything dumb.
Oh no, it actually wasn't bad. It was actually kind of a bummer up there. We went up there the week after a tornado ripped through the lake that we were fishing. So to be honest, it was a pretty slow weekend. But I mean, that was my first time going up to Canada to fish, and I mean, it is beautiful
Is
up there.
Canada beautiful?
I do gotta,
Never been there.
yep.
Want to go?
It makes the lakes around here look like complete like community
Garbage.
pool
Oh,
garbage. It's bad, but no, up there just beautiful. A lot shallower lake, so it seems
really?
like because the lake I was on, huge lake, like bigger than most lakes we fish around here,
Yeah.
but it was shallow. Like we were smacking rocks a couple times with the bat with our motor, the
That's
scabbard of our
crazy.
yeah, it was nuts. But I mean, beautiful walleye. You're not getting anything like massive up there. It
Yeah.
seems like to by talking to them, but beautiful walleye. Caught a couple smallies, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just first time up there, bad circumstances with the
Still had a
weather
good
coming through.
time.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get up there this upcoming year now that I kind of know the lake and that, but great people up there too.
Did you guys fly or drive or
Drive.
yeah.
I've yet to ever take a plane anywhere.
I've never been on a plane either.
I
How many hours did that take?
don't know. I was passed out in the back
I
seat to
don't
be honest.
I don't blame you.
I think that was like 13.
I was gonna say it'd be like 10 hours, a little over 10 hours.
Yeah, I think it was like 13, 14 hours.
Yeah.
It was
Because I
interesting.
went to North Dakota last year for ducks and that was a little over 8 hours, I think.
Yep.
And that was super cool. And that was, I think we were like 30 minutes west of Fargo,
Oh,
which
yep.
is like not that far into North Dakota. I mean, Fargo's
No.
on the border, Minnesota, and that. So that was cool, but Canada's on the bucket list. I actually just would have been the 31st was the last day, but I purchased my preference points
Mm.
for whitetails, antelope, and elk for Wyoming for next year.
Ooh,
So hopefully,
you get drawn.
yeah, it's a, there are some zones where you can go and kill a trophy buck, but it's going to take you a while to get there.
Yep.
Or there's the other ones where huge quantity of deer, but the quality drops.
Yep.
And there's also that in between. Like I know guys that go out there and they're killing deer every year, and they're shooting some pretty decent stuff. I mean, they make Wisconsin whitetails look like
Oh,
babies.
yep.
They shoot a monster muley is crazy, but
My buddy just shot one. It was 29 and a half inch widespread.
it's
Just
crazy.
absolutely monster.
Yeah.
Like, whew.
And it was like the one I just shot, I think he was I don't remember what he said. I think he was like 19 and something on the inside. So he was pretty nice. They think he scored like 135-ish.
It's a solid buck.
Yeah, but for a green score versus like a dry score is, you gotta wait 60 days.
Yep.
You gotta remeasure them and stuff. And so I was pretty pumped for a first book, but I'm
Oh, yeah.
trying to think of anything. I got a couple questions I can ask you to kind of keep it rolling. I know
All right.
sometimes it gets a little, no, but I've kind of posted on my story if like some people that could come on and stuff. I've been thinking about this for a long time.
Yeah. I was about to say, I looked up and I couldn't find anything. I'm like, is he just starting this or?
Yeah. And I kind of said some stuff a couple months ago about kind of getting like a word out there just to get people in people's minds. And I was just like on the edge and stuff. And thankfully, my cousin fished on
Mm.
TV and stuff. But he's like national TV.
Yep.
And he just told me, he's like, full send it.
Hmm.
Like, what do you have to lose? I mean, he's like,
Exactly.
you're either going to do good with it or you're going to do bad with it.
I got my buddy, the one that just shot that muley. He
Uh-huh.
comes back Sunday. I'll get him to swing over one of these
Exactly.
times. Me and him will swing back
Yeah.
over.
And it's
He's
like,
been hunting for a while.
yeah. And I want like, I don't care who you are, what you do. Like, if you like outdoors, you like hunting or fishing and stuff, or like anything, you
Yep.
could be an avid hiker. Like, I don't care.
Yep.
It's just like, I think you listen to podcasts or videos, and it's the same thing for the hunting community
Yep.
over and over again. And it's usually they're selling you a brand,
Hmm.
which is like, whatever, I get it. They're making money, this and that. But it's just like, after a while, it's just like, okay, this
But
and that, and it ruins it. I have, there's people on YouTube I watch, and it's enjoyable,
yep.
but it's not like I feel like what I'm looking for, other people are looking for. Like
Unbiased.
yeah,
That's if you ever heard of Tackle Talk. Oh, I was just listening to him today at work. He's a like one man show or whatever,
okay,
completely unbiased, unsponsored, and all he talks about is fishing. Like good, bad. He doesn't bring in any drama or controversy.
yeah,
It's all just facts.
yeah. That's like I kind of want this to be about. Like Wisconsin's got such a honey hole of just stories, traditions, and just years and years and years of hunting and outdoors. I think it's something like you know, like I told Bob, you have hunting experiences that I have
Yep.
never experienced, and vice versa. And it's just like I want to get old, young. I could get a 6-year-old in here that's talked about, and he just shot his first deer,
Yep.
and he's fired up. And it could be a fawn from last year, like, or I could have a guy in here who's 70 years old.
Hmm.
I want it to grow it where, so it's a vast majority of people who it fits all genres of people pretty
Yep.
much. And I feel like that's something I can do, and people are gonna like, and it's gonna be something kind of fun.
You're up in Ambergelston, aren't you?
We got a place. It's just kind of maybe northwest of Crivets,
Mm.
like Stephens area.
Yep, that's right around where we are.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know we gotta be kind of,
One of these times when we're both up there, you'll have to swing by. My like whole extended family lives up there, and they're
yeah.
huge. Like they are like the main people up there for bears. They have people
Okay,
come from Virginia and that to run with
that's
them.
crazy.
So you'll have to get them on here
Yeah,
one of these times. He's
yeah,
always down. He's a great guy, real down to earth.
yeah. That's what I kind of want to do is just like some random people and stuff. People who are diehard fishermen don't ever step in the woods or anything,
Yep.
and it's kind of cool. And I got a lot of people who are interested just to come on and stuff. I got buddies, people I barely talk to and stuff, and it's just like, people I don't think I've even met before.
Yep.
It's just like just to get them on, talk about it, and show experience and stuff. And it's just like something I'm excited for, and I think it can really kind of bloom into
Oh yeah.
something.
100%. Yeah, if you want some like good
Yeah,
older folks with good stories, let me
yeah.
know.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with some questions here.
All right.
Okay, opening. So let's just start off. What's your main hunting thing? Like, what do you hunt most of percentage wise? Like,
Nowadays, duck.
you like duck hunting?
Yep,
I
nowadays
agree,
it's
I
all
agree with
about duck.
that. Okay. What's your opening day prep for duck
Oh.
hunting? Or like, it doesn't have to be exactly that morning, but I'm saying
Yep.
like, what are you getting ready for?
Opening day prep is normally scramble the Cabela's, go buy about 8 boxes of shells because I
Like
never.
everybody else.
Yep, you never can hit your first couple shots, so pack up like 5 to 6 boxes of. If we're talking like very opening day for teal hunting, pack up like 5 to 6 boxes, like 4 shot. Get the kayaks all set and the camo. Find your calls.
Hmm.
Pack up some snacks on that. And then normally it's head over to the hunting buddy's house, have a couple drinks, and get ready for the day.
Yeah,
Then sleep for an hour or two, head out to the duck hole.
way too tired.
Yep, unpack the decoys, the kayaks, paddle out there about. For opening day, we're normally out there at like midnight, one
Yeah,
o'clock.
it's gonna be
Yep, it's gonna be packed, so yeah, get out there midnight, 1 o'clock, and then sit there and wait and wait and wait, and then finally throw out decoys. I think it's half an hour before daylight
bad. Hmm.
for legal reasons.
Yeah,
And
which is
then
fair. So you guys aren't setting a spread the night before.
exactly, yep. But then set those up, sit and pray. That's
Yeah,
about it.
that's fair. Um, what is one thing you took away from last hunting season, just in general?
Um, I can't shoot a duck worth a shit, but to be honest, the one thing that I took away from last year was really just you got to know what you're doing to duck hunt. I thought it was one of them things where you just walk out there with like your $20 duck call and your gun and you go and shoot all these ducks.
Yeah.
And it really gave me like opened my eyes to like how deep you really got to go. Now I'm sitting here with like a couple $100 duck calls and that and how
Hmm.
much money you stick into decoys and it's just like any other type of hunting. You gotta have a deep commitment to it to like really.
It's tough.
It's not just you sit out there and shoot everything that goes past. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta have some commitment.
I mean, you can go out there and say you can sky bust birds at 50,
50,
way up there, and yeah, you might hit one. You
but
could also wing one or ruin,
exactly, it's not. You're not
it's a
getting
technique.
you're
Yeah.
not getting the thrill of them coming into your spread or looping.
Feet down and just working. That's a big thing. And
That'll bring you the thrill right there when they're
yeah.
finally coming in.
Ooh. Um. Okay, this is pretty good. So I feel like something that makes or breaks hunting is a lot of gear, just like different items you take out with you.
Mm,
What is a piece of gear or item you swear by that you feel is hugely overrated by people?
cool. That's a rough one, actually. Probably to be honest, are we talking duck hunting or anything?
Do anything across the board.
Anything? Oh man, good socks.
Oh,
To be
that
honest,
is
good
fair.
socks. Everybody overlooks socks. Like,
Yes.
like they'll come out with normal everyday socks and they'll get cold, or they're like, you'll set up like two, three pairs of socks. It's just never comfy. I feel like
Hmm.
a good either wool or like a good normal thick sock
Hmm.
will beat layering. Or if you really want to go out like them heated socks,
Yep.
something like that. But
Yeah.
socks
That,
for
that's fair
I feel like that's something
across
that's
the board because I feel like the only time you're hunting something that's not cold is usually teal and beginning of summer like whitetail hunting,
exactly
but
or
it doesn't last
turkey,
forever. Yeah. And
like turkey.
yeah, I mean, if you're getting the first couple weeks of turkey, you could be hunting in the snow.
Oh yeah,
That's
but
a big thing. I asked Bob the same question, and he told me a compass. I'm like, that's pretty fair. I'm like,
I've never. I don't. I think I might have brought a compass out like a handful of times on public land.
the only time I bring a compass is when I go way up at Eagle River, and
Yup.
it's just because like no phone reception, and it's just you don't know.
That's why I love Onyx nowadays,
Yeah,
though.
it's pretty solid. You don't need service really.
As long as you load it up before you
Yep.
leave and leave it on.
Yep.
But for duck hunting, though, if we want to get specific, if we're talking about duck hunting, one thing that everybody seems to overlook when you're first getting started, at least like I did,
Uh,
kayaks. We were either you walk into the marsh and you're spending all that energy and time walking in and dragging your sleds, and then we just went straight to a boat. That was just way too much for what we wanted. Kayaks, I feel like, are that perfect, like,
uh-huh.
happy medium. You can use them as a beginner, or if you're getting real into it, because you can get all your shallow water stuff, but you can also go on them bigger bodies of water
Yeah.
once you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
And
a huge thing.
happy medium, it doesn't take up the room
You're not
of a boat. Yep.
you're not blowing 10 grand or it's the brush in a kayak is pretty simple. Spray paint, you can throw some grass on it.
Exactly. I went on Marketplace, all of our kayaks. They're $50 Marketplace kayaks. We sanded them down, spray paint them. You touch up the spray paint every so often. And
Yep.
then my buddy from work, he got a bunch of dried out cattails, took camo duct tape and wrapped them on there.
Yeah.
And that's all. And they worked flawlessly.
Yeah, the kayaks, that's a good thing because I feel like even deer hunting, the amount of times I've used kayak, well, deer hunting up north because there's a lot of rivers up there.
Yep.
And it's one thing to put your waders on and go, but waders are not always the most comfortable
Mm.
side up, and they suck most of the time.
So especially if you're walking dry land to get to the river,
Uh-huh.
it's horrible.
Chances of you ripping them and uncomfortable, and it's just like
Yep.
whole ordeal.
I feel like you can use kayaks for anything. Like you said, deer hunting, duck hunting. You can use them in the summer for fishing, pretty much
Yeah,
anything. Scouting.
yeah.
It's not just a hunting thing.
Even going down the river just drinking with some buddies, it's just
Exactly. It's one of those
yeah.
things that gets overlooked when you first start out, I feel like. And it's just like it's a cheap way to save yourself a lot of hassle, especially
Mhm.
for duck
It's quiet. You can make it, you can be pretty quiet and not a big engine or you're not
hunting.
trumping through the grass and stuff. And, you might not be able to sit on the land, but if you're in the water,
Mhm.
it's fair game.
Exactly. It's that happy medium.
Yeah. This is probably gonna be pretty easy for you. Do you prefer solo hunts or hunt with some buddies?
Ooh, that's
Oh,
actually
maybe
a
it is
rough.
a
No,
tough one.
that actually is a rough one. Don't get me wrong. I love my hunts with buddies. I mainly only hunt with one buddy, anyways.
Yeah,
But that's been like my day one
that's
for
that's pretty
years.
much how it's been for me
Yep.
too. Yeah.
But to be honest, them solo hunts sometimes are just what you need to get back into that headspace because
Yeah.
you get a couple hunts with buddies or buddy,
Yeah.
and it just gets stressful, and then
Yep.
you're always rushing it, and
Uh-huh.
stuff's going on. To just get out there by yourself,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of them feelings that's really nice. But then you get days where they're flying amazing, and you wish nothing more than to hunt with a buddy. So
Exactly. I feel that, and it's just like, especially bow hunting. I've bow hunted with a buddy before, two guys, and that's all fun and games, but just something about, you're by yourself. I
yo,
mean, like I was talking to my other guy about this. I was like, you're one on one with Mother Nature. I mean, you're either gonna hunt out there, be with her, or she's gonna kick your ass.
yeah,
Like shit can go wrong, and it's just like, especially bow hunting. I mean, you are sitting there being as quiet as you can, I mean, hopefully,
Yep.
and letting you're just being a part of it, you know.
Speaking of that, to build on to Mother Nature kicking your ass, I was actually one of the last times I went out duck hunting. It was right next to where my girlfriend now lives. She lives on a lake out in Shawano, and people duck hunt all the time.
Yeah,
We brought the kayaks out there, and it was just me and my buddy, and we didn't scout the night before. We were stupid, didn't scout the night before, and we're gonna wake up real early. It's like 2, 3 a.m. Get out there 'cause she lives 100 yards from the boat launch. So we get out there,
that's there you go.
yep, start scouting, and one of my big things, actually, I'm gonna change my answer from before too. Biggest thing that people overlook in hunting, or the one main thing, is a belt. Whenever you wear waders,
Oh, safety belt.
safety belt around your waist, whether that
Hmm.
be a cheap Walmart belt like I got or an actual built-in one, safety belt. And I've been preaching that, and since I've started wearing waders, I've gotten yelled at to wear that belt. And since I started hunting with people, I've yelled at them to wear that belt. That
Hmm.
morning, at 2 or 3 a.m., we went out there on them kayaks and didn't see anything, wasn't familiar with the area. I didn't have a safety belt on. I was wearing my waders on the kayak. Well, we're going, we find our spot and stick in the bottom with our paddles. We're like, it's a solid 2 to 3 feet. Should be at the stand. Get to like right where we want to sit in the water because normally we have stand or we got marsh seats instead of sitting in kayaks.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna swing my leg over like every other time. We don't got anything with us. It's literally just myself, my phone, my waders, and my kayak. Same with him. No guns, no decoys, nothing. I got everything in my pocket. I swing my leg over. I use those waders the night or the morning before, so they're still wet. I didn't have that safety belt on. I swung that foot over. The rest of my body went over. And that 3 to 4 feet was more of a 5 to 6 feet.
Yeah.
I went straight over my head, filled up my waders, and when I came back up to the surface, that kayak was overturned, my headlamp was practically gone, and my buddy was a solid like 15, 20 yards away from me.
Yeah, and it's dark.
It was dark,
Yeah,
so it was just a scramble. And when you hit that water, you always
it's
think,
cold.
yep,
You're panicking.
you always, when you see the news reports, it's, oh, why didn't these people like just take off their waders? A,
It suck on. Yeah,
they suck on you, and B, that is the last thing you think of. When you hit that water, you feel your waders fill up and you like barely can get your head above the water. Your mind just instantly panics. It is
yeah,
top five and top three scariest things that ever happened to me in
yeah.
my life.
And
So,
I mean, there's a lot of people that probably could have lived just wearing safety weight. You know, just wearing that belt. And like
yep,
when we go to the pier, I mean, yeah, you're fishing in like maybe waist deep water, and the amount of times something happens, guy trips. That current's moving so fast. You trip, fall down the water. Your waders are full.
you're done.
You're gone.
Yep,
And it's like that's a big thing. And like that's something I feel like a lot of people don't preach because like I'm guilty to it of like I've been out there before and not wearing my safety belt and it's just like you just lean backwards a little bit you just get it over your over your back and something that quick and change that fast and like
exactly.
luckily you were able to like get out of that but
Yep,
like
it's one of those things that I feel like if you are hunting an open body of water that you are unfamiliar with, you either need to A, do your proper research, B, go out there, do your research and bring a buddy, or C, don't go. Don't do what I did and rush it and do it half-assed because when you start rushing things, that's how shit goes wrong and that's how you end up hurt, injured,
dead.
killed, and
Yeah,
you know, and the last thing anybody wants is they get a call
yeah,
that you died like that.
yeah. That's something scary because that happened in Berlin before, a guy, and everything, and it's just like,
It's a common thing.
yeah, and that's like something I feel like people should have to wear it. That should be like kind of burned in. I wish more people would do that.
I believe this should be a law. I
Yeah.
don't see it as any different than how they want people to wear PFDs when they're under a certain age and how you're required to have a PFD on board.
And it's just like the amount of people that probably be saved from that, or it's just like simple because nowadays you go and you buy a pair of waders. One, it has a built-in belt,
I
or
feel like
two, it
yeah,
comes with a built-in belt.
I feel like they should all have that built-in
Uh,
belt.
and that's fair. And I think that's something I think that's a huge safety thing because like you could be a great swimmer. You
Mm,
can be top tier swimmer. Your waders fill up halfway.
Your
You,
body weight is hanging on to you.
yeah, yeah, that's just already, and then it's just pulling you down, and
Yep.
yeah, that's a huge thing, and that's actually a really good point because a lot of people probably don't think about that, or
It's either people forget like I did, and we've all done at one point in
yeah,
time, or they grew up and they didn't get taught that, and
and
they're
you're like, oh, I'm
new.
gonna be fine.
Yep, or they just don't know about it. They're
Uh-huh.
new like some other people, and they're just getting into it. They don't know
Uh-huh.
what's going on. But safety belt, that's the biggest thing I can preach.
That's really good. That's really fair. That's something 'cause I know plenty of buddies that don't wear them. I know somebody that preach till they die to wear them.
Mhm.
That's a big thing, and it's just like, yeah, that's actually a really good point. Let's see what else we got. Oh, so do you watch a lot of like YouTube on hunting and stuff, or like
It depends. I used to more. To be honest, when I'm watching hunt movies, it's going to be like the old '90s, early
fair?
2000 like
So fair.
CD or DVD
And
movies.
I feel like that stuff's a little more enjoyable.
It really is to see back then compared to
Uh-huh.
now, when everything now is this brand pays me, I need to talk about them, or I'm
Yeah.
sponsored by them. To go back in time to my favorite is road trips with Michael Waltrip or
Okay.
whatever. My favorite TV series.
Yeah.
I got all of them on CDs. Just to go back and watch how they used to do it before we got all this crazy technology
Yeah.
is it's nice to see.
So this is where this question comes into play. If you could hunt with any famous outdoorsman or hunter, who would it be?
Fred Bear.
Okay. What's your reason?
Fred Bear. That was my first bow. B, that was like one of the first like people that I ever learned about in the hunting
Uh-huh.
community. And C, just overall like not even archery itself, but just anything deer hunting related. If you look into it, he's somewhere behind it, especially for archery.
Yeah.
I think he's just an inspiration. He gets talked about. Don't get me wrong. He's
Yeah.
got songs about him, books, movies, TV shows. But I feel like that's somebody that's starting to become like just a forgotten part of the
Yeah.
past.
That's fair. And that's like I haven't heard about that in a while, and that's actually I'm gonna highlight that. I'm gonna ask more people that question. 'Cause I feel like that's such a so many people watching and stuff, and going back to them older shows, it's just like the amount of times like you know you watch stuff now, and it's just like you don't kill 180-inch deer, shame on you.
Yep.
It's like good for you. If you're gonna go out there and kill a 200-inch deer every time you sit, no problem in that.
Mm,
But it's just like when you start shitting on not or not like if a kid is happy about shooting 100-inch 8 pointer or a spike, if
mm,
he's happy, you could be 50, and if you're happy and you're gonna go out there and kill it, good for you.
yep.
But it's just like,
I'm telling you, that little six I shot in the UP, the first buck that I got shoulder mounted, that was the most ecstatic that I've ever been in my life. I've shot bigger bucks since then.
exactly.
I've shot bigger bucks, heavier body bucks, more
Uh-huh.
beautiful bucks. It's not always about the size, especially for me, and I know that's a pretty big thing with people that I hunt with or people that I know. It's not just about size.
Yeah. So we all got here. Yeah, so pretty much like I want to, or you can even send me questions or have people like listening just ask questions. And I want to have like pretty much I got a bunch of stuff on my phone
Yep.
where I want to have like a big jug.
Mm,
And I want to, people come over, I want to people, they take out, say 20 questions. I'm going to ask you those 20 questions.
perfect.
And, it's just like at random.
Yep.
But, well, this was a good one. So, besides you almost drowning and dying, being a scary moment, have you ever had something in the woods that scared you that you can't explain? Something that just like you don't know what the fuck happened, or even you couldn't, you could see a wolf or something that just like fucks with you.
Oh, it's not even scary. It's just been something that's sat in the back of my head about hunting for, what was that? I think 3 or 4 years now. It was, we've had this deer
Okay.
and we called it the ghost. It's been shot now, which honestly really sucks. I didn't even want, nobody in our family wanted to shoot it even. It's been a buck that we've had on camera at our land for, at the time it was 5.5 or 6.5 years. We watched this buck from the start. My grandpa either missed it or skimmed it with an arrow when it was like a year and a half, 2.5, and we watched it, and it knew where all of our cameras were, and it would hit them about once a year, and then after season, and you never see it during actual shooting. Like when I shot one of my bigger eights a couple of years ago, I swore I saw that buck sitting in the background, but I like looked back through it and that the trail cams at the time, buck wasn't there. But I swore I saw him sitting back there. And then we went in there, pulled the buck out, like skunned it out, pulled it out. Where we weren't quiet, we weren't fast by any means. It was
Yeah.
probably a 2 or 3 hour process. After we got it out of that food plot, the first camera at the closest stand goes off. That buck's standing there. Second camera goes off. Buck's standing there. Each time looking at the trail cams, hit every single one. And it was 20 minutes after we left where I shot my buck. He was standing in front of that camera.
It's crazy how much those big bucks and them smart bucks, they just know.
Yup. And
It's just like crazy. They know, they feel, they sense stuff, and it's just like they're obviously gonna grow and get big and get old for a reason.
yup.
That's
And
pretty cool though.
it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't really scary. It's just, it was like a haunting feeling to like, swore I see him, but that
Yeah,
camera that should have seen him didn't see him the first time, and then him hit every camera. It was
yeah.
kind of nuts.
It's kind of like he's watching you, but you're like, fuck, am I just like
It's a
losing
deer,
my
yeah, it
mind or like,
can't actually be here.
yeah,
Other than that, I mean, I've ran into coyotes, been pretty close to wolves, and that.
yeah,
That, like we always carry a sidearm when we're out hunting. So I mean, it's a scary feeling. I've came real close to coyotes when I was younger.
yeah,
It's a scary feeling,
yeah. It
but
gets your heart pumping a little bit.
oh yeah, them early cold mornings, and you hear them coyotes going.
Yeah. I just got some simple ones. If you could go back, say, what are you, 20, 19,
18.
18? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm 19, but um, say you could go back to when you were first, when you first sat, what is something you would tell yourself? It's a little bit of a brain picker.
Yeah, it really is. Man, I don't know. Really just take it more in. I always like going up to the UP, like them first, after the first year, for probably the 2 or 3 years after that, I felt like it was more of a chore because I was a young kid. I wanted to do normal kid things like
Yeah,
sleepovers and riding bikes and going
yeah,
sledding and that. I was stuck in the UP, sitting at a deer camp hunting. But looking back on it, those were some of the coolest times ever, and it
yeah,
really kind of made me into the person I am today.
yeah. That's a big thing, and I just like, yeah, that's a big thing.
When
Just to
you
take it in a little more.
when you're young, it's you never think about those things. You feel weird being that person that's
Yeah,
never hanging out with anybody. But
yeah.
growing up, it's like,
I,
man,
I was the same way.
yep,
Yeah, I
it's
get
like,
that.
man, I was kind of lucky to be able to do that instead
Yeah,
of having to sit in the city
yeah.
24/7.
And it's just like if you think about it, it's like if you're lucky, I mean, you maybe get 60, 75 years of, opening sits.
Yeah,
Just some seasons, and it's like that's if you don't get your life taken young or something happens, but that's just like it's crazy, you're only gonna have 60 ruts,
yep,
give or take. And that's just like that's something I wish I would have just taken in a little more when I was younger. And I'm still young, like I'm not
yep,
even 20, but it's just like, it's something I'm gonna take for a little more
exactly.
passion with.
You only get so much time to hunt.
Yeah. Um, ooh, just trying to think. Um, you got any go-to snacks when you hunt out there? Well, I mean, you're going deer hunting. You're bringing your pack of sacks out there.
Yeah, deer hunting is normally like goldfish, that kind of stuff. That like a lot more messy foods to be honest. Like I would bring actual like food out there with me, like sandwiches and
Yeah.
whatnot. Even though they could smell it, I'd have my thing of scent killer. But we're talking duck now. What I mainly do pretty much every weekend of my life now, it's wake up, 2, 3 a.m. Go to either Circle K or Quick Trip, and I get myself a deli special sub sandwich. I
That's
get
fair.
if we're at Quick Trip, I get myself a yogurt or pudding parfait cup.
Oh yeah, those are pretty good.
Yep, two Rockstar strawberry dreams or whatever I think it
Okay.
is. The juice ones, so it's not as carbonated.
Yep.
And then normally like a featuring, and that'll be my snack for out there. I'll smash the sub before I get out there, smash the pudding. And I'll have a thing of peach rings and two energy drinks for in the water.
Sounds like it's great for your health. But hell yeah. Yeah, everyone's got some weird.
It's definitely an interesting thing to be buying gas station subs. When I first bought my first gas station sub, I felt like I was going to get food poisoning, but
Yeah.
you just get in the routine. It's like, man, I'm so used to getting
Yeah.
this. I don't care how I look eating a sub sandwich at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah. I was just like, think about like, I mean, I'm sure other states do this too, but if we're kind of just focusing on Wisconsin, I'm like, deer hunting hits. Think of the amount of like gas stations benefit off of hunters.
Yup,
I mean, even like, think of like Little Debbie Christmas trees.
yup.
I mean, Wisconsin gonna wipe the
Yup.
shelf.
Okay, call me insane. Call me like ashamed of Wisconsin. I despise Little Debbie Christmas trees. I do every bone in my body. Like I think about it. I can think about it, and I just hurts my stomach.
That's
I
fair.
hate those. I can't do it.
And it's like, I don't know. Bob's big on the Christmas trees and stuff, and he was, oh my God, the whole podcast is all he talked about it. But it's just like, even just like the whole Little Debbie variety.
Yup.
And it's just like, I think about that, and you go somewhere, I'm like, because every year around deer season, we go and me and my dad will look, and it's just like wiped. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yup.
Like, it's crazy. Like, we went to Cabela's last Friday, I believe.
That sucks now that I got bought out by Bass Pro.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it has the same vibe.
No. Anyways, you're saying.
Well, yeah, we went and the ammo selection there was kind of getting a little shallow right now. I was like, holy shit. And then it's just like, you know,
Yep.
and he's shooting a 350 Legend or something. Kind of more of a weird
Oh,
round.
that's not bad. We have a 7 mil short action Ultra Mag. The only rounds you can buy are Benchmade online rounds, and it's like 100 some bucks a box.
Ouch. What do you whitetail gun hunting with?
Normally, I'm 30 out 6.
Same.
I'm a very basic person, you know.
I mean,
I
I think the 30-6 is a great gun
I got
across the
a
whole board.
it is beautiful. It can do anything you really want. I got a 243, a little youth one with an adjustable butt on it. I love that thing. It's great for if you just want something light and small, especially for like smaller game, or if you want to go clear some brush out and
Yeah,
walk for deer. But 30 out 6 if I'm sitting, and then
pack enough bunch.
oh yeah, I want to pretty soon here. I just gotta go find the time to actually go buy one. I want to get a 300 blackout so you can get subsonic rounds for those to
Uh,
go start smacking yotes and little stuff like
yeah.
that.
My dad, I mean, he's a 30-6, and my dad has a 300 Ultra Mag,
Mm,
and he just spent like $109 on a box of shells.
it's
I mean,
rough.
that's a badass gun, and
Yep,
that's what I'm probably gonna hopefully use when I go to Wyoming because we hunt on a power line in Cribbets, okay?
yep,
He shot a deer on the run at 600 plus yards. I mean, like, that's crazy.
it is.
I'm just getting comfortable. Like, I just helped a buddy sight in his AR. It's an AR-10. It's a 30. It's chambered in 308,
Yep.
and I was shooting at like 550 yards.
We smacked I think it was a spike or a fork. It's gonna sound kind of sad, but we smacked a spike or a fork out in Shawano at like 420 some yards with a 243 once.
Holy shit, that's a
Yep.
whole.
In the back, like the background of what that deer was standing from was somebody's house. So it was either we hit this deer and works out, or we miss and smack this person's
Yeah,
house.
but the 243 is such a smaller round. At that far is crazy.
It was you held it towards the top of the back and you just hope that it dropped.
Yeah, just you're praying on that money shot. And that takes practice and idea to see that stuff drops. I mean, that 308 at 400 yards was dropping a lot.
Yep.
And there was just target rounds. Those weren't even anything crazy. So that was a lot of fun, but takes a lot of practice and stuff. But I'll get you on a couple more questions. Just kind of wrap her up and kind of. Ooh. Uh, what's the one moment with just the outdoors that made you realize that you love it? That made you feel like
Mm,
you're addicted to it?
that's a rough turkey hunting. To be honest, turkey hunting. I
Turkey can really humble a person.
Yep, like I said, I started with deer hunting. I was huge in deer hunting. I'm huge into duck hunting now, but turkey hunting will always be my favorite type of hunting.
It's the backbone for you.
And that's it, it really just it drains you. It
Yeah.
takes everything out of you if you're running public land like I've been doing. I run miles and miles a day. That's just by leg. I'm emptying like a half a tank of gas a day running with the truck between public land and it just guts you.
Uh-huh.
But to shoot that turkey, one little fucking turkey that you can buy at the grocery store,
Yeah.
there's something about that that makes it all worth it, and it's addicting. It's not like deer where like really like scouts. You can scout for turkey,
Yeah.
but it's not like that same kind of
Yeah.
scouting. And it's just a lot of like knowledge. You got
Yeah.
all your different
Turkeys are
calls.
smart.
Yep,
They'll pick you out.
Yep, they got amazing eyes, ears, and they can see and notice everything. You got all these different calls. You gotta be quiet. You're sitting on the ground. You're really getting into it. You're
Yep.
stalking. You're calling. And I feel like that's just like that raw instinct of hunting is turkey hunting.
Yeah. And I was luckily able to shoot my first turkey, what would it be, 2 years ago now? And that was with Briar Crystal,
Hmm.
Shuttle Briar Crystal. And he took me out there and, I was like, whatever, turkey hunting's kind of whatever. And he's like, the year before, he's like, dude, you get your tag. I'll take you out there. Like, you have no idea what this is.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, I was excited, but it was just like, it's kind of whatever. And then we sat the first time and I heard the first turkey crack off. I heard that tom crack off in the morning. And it's just like, that is just a chill that hits your body. And it's just like,
They're insanely
oh,
loud.
it's just crazy. And it's just like, I mean, the first bird I shot was like a 21 pound. It was a Jake.
Yep.
It's a huge Jake. And that was super cool. And it was just like, that was crazy. I shot him at like 7 yards, right close. And I was like, holy crap, turkey hunting is like, it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot him towards the end of my week and stuff. And it's just like,
That's the one thing I absolutely despise about Wisconsin is Wisconsin's turkey season. How we have a week to shoot a bird.
mhm.
Everywhere else, it's split up into normal seasons. Wisconsin is so asininely backwards that I wish we could figure out some way to change it.
Yeah, I don't understand what that whole ordeal is. If it's just like giving more chance for more people to kill birds, but it's still a lottery system
It's
technically.
still screwing people over, and then you get one bad week of weather, and there goes your whole entire season.
Yeah.
But no, my first bird actually was a couple of years ago too, and I've been turkey hunting for probably almost 8 years now with my dad, and he's taken so many damn birds from me. It's not even funny. Like I should have shot him, and he shot like half a second before me. And my first year going out solo, actually I wasn't even solo. I brought my girlfriend at the time, ex now, and she had never gone any sort of hunting, turkey hunting. And I'm like, if you don't want to come, you don't gotta come. She's like, I'm gonna come. And ran public land, absolutely drained her battery, drained my
It's tough.
battery. Yep. And last spot, it was always the spot that I've had luck at, but never actually got to shoot anything. I'm like, I'm just gonna swing in here, see what can happen. I get in there, I need to start lighting up. I'm like, so much for making this a quick stop. And anyways, I got like three going, and one's probably I've been back in there before. I was roughly like a quarter mile like I hear this one, he sounds throaty, but there's two closer. I don't mind those. And had the first one come up to me, it's Jake. Like, I can't do that yet. I
Yeah.
let him walk. Second one randomly shut up. Then that far back one stopped calling too. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I start walking towards the back. I'm calling. I'm calling. Finally, he lights back up, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna sit right here, right at the edge of a pine line. Like you sit on the back of the tree, I'm gonna sit on the side of the tree. Just stay still. I'm gonna stay still. I'm gonna call him. I got my diaphragm, my slate call, my gun, and I'm calling him. And he's on the other side of this ridge and pops off. All of a sudden, I see his head poke over. I'm like, oh man. And he stops and he just sits there and looks around and looks around. I'm sitting there. I'm still just finally breaks over that crest. And he gets like 80 yards. He's still coming right in. He hits, what was that, 50 some yards? And she made, I don't know what she did, if she moved, but she broke a branch. That turkey stops right on dime, lifts his head, looks directly at me. Like, oh man, like he's gonna bust and run, or he's gonna end up in the ground. So I pulled up my gun, I gave him one more chirp, he looked to the side and crack 50 some yards and just rolled him right there.
Hell yeah.
I'm like, should not have been that
Hell
far
yeah.
away. I was supposed to walk him in, but nope, 50 yards, he
Hell yeah.
backed up and cracked.
Oh yeah, that's dope. When it's just like, you don't, you've had a shitty day hunting and you go sit and it's just like when everything lines up perfectly and it's just like, you just feel super blessed about that and it's just like, holy crap, no way this is happening. It
Yeah.
was super, 20 seconds hunting can snap like that and, it's crazy
Yeah.
like that. And that's something that's just like, it's kind of like tough for like, I wish more people could experience that.
Mhm.
And a lot of people probably will never experience that. And it's just like, that's why I want to do this.
Yep.
Because like I want to be able to get younger kids out there being able to hunt and stuff, or like older people who just lost the love for it.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you only have them at like a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You're not doing it when you're real young. You're not doing it when you're real old. And it's the sad thing is, in all reality, it's no longer a affordable sport.
Uh-uh.
It has really turned into a money sport. You go over, I mean, you can still do it on a budget. Don't get me wrong. I myself still try to do it on a
Me
budget,
too.
but you go over there and you look at new camo. I just bought a banded, like waterproof jacket, $250 just for the jacket. And that's like a midline price now.
Yeah.
And you think about that, that's just for one jacket. Normally, when you're into hunting, you got that's a single waterproof. You normally have your spring, like your early season when it's warm, your mid season, your waterproof, your late season. That's four jackets right there. That's over $1,000
Yeah.
in jackets alone. Then you add bottoms. You're talking multiple grand just for camo. You only
Yeah.
got your gun now.
That's the sad thing. It's just like that's like eventually I want to grow something here and I want to be able to make products or something that's affordable for hunters, like
Yep.
because I feel like that's a huge thing, which is driving people away from hunting. I know buddies that went out and they blew 10 grand on
Yeah.
full sets of camo.
Yeah,
And
it's
I know
nuts.
buddies that have spent $100 on camo. And 90% of the time, they're killing the same amount of birds. They're killing the same size deer. And it's just like, but, if you're, say you're 10 years old, you're trying to get into hunting and stuff. You say your dad used to hunt when he was a kid and you're trying to get in there and stuff. And, he doesn't really pay much attention. And you're watching these videos and guys are blowing money on
Yeah,
it's like Sitka and all this big stuff. And it's just like, oh, I can't, like you ask your parents to buy you $1,200 waders. It's,
exactly.
it's,
I'm still sitting in here, even now, even though I have waterproof, like waterfall camo,
yeah,
when it's these cold days, you'll still see me sitting in my my habit winter suit inside of waders. And I've had that for 4.5 years, and I'm still wearing it because
yeah,
it's warm, it's cheap, it's paid for, and it works.
yeah,
It might not be amazing, like cool Sitka pattern. It might not
yeah,
be some waterproof, like waterfowl thing, but it works.
yeah. Some of the best camo I have is hand-me-down stuff, and it works super good. And it's just like, it's like, yeah, I could upgrade and get something a little better, maybe a little lighter that works a little better and more efficiently. And it's just like, I don't know, but it's hard to get rid of stuff that works,
It really is, yeah.
and that's why I kind of want to get something that works out pretty good. But yeah, for the most part, what do you think for your first podcast ever? Is this your first one you've ever been on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Ooh. What is something you wish people that are listening to are going to take away from this episode?
Mm. Get out, try it all, but do it safely. Do it safely, do it smartly. you don't got to be a millionaire to get into the sport.
Yeah,
You just gotta just spend the money where it matters.
yeah,
You don't need the $1,000 camo, but you need that $5 belt. You
yeah,
you don't need $1 million gun, but you're gonna need that $6 headlamp. It's the smallest things that are gonna make the biggest difference.
yeah.
And like I kind of mentioned, I hunt a lot of public land. Don't get me wrong, I have private land to hunt, but I mainly hunt public land, and it's just one of those things. People nowadays no longer care for public land, and it pisses me off. When you hunt public, what you bring out there, you either bring back that exact same amount of what you brought out there,
Hmm.
or you're bringing back more. You don't leave your garbage out
Nope.
there. If you see garbage, you're picking up that
Yep.
garbage.
Yeah, I'm really big on that too.
Yep, that public land's gotta last us, and the way it's going nowadays, that public land ain't gonna last us. So,
Yeah, that's the hard part. That's why I want to have a good voice out there and stuff, just to be able to have stuff that hopefully my kids will be able to use, you know.
yeah.
But this might be a stumpy question here, but what using one or two words, what do you think, what is hunting to you?
1 to 2 words hunting.
If you had to put in your experience, your love for it,
Mm,
you know,
ooh. Passion and faith. For 2 words, passion and faith. I feel like when you get to a certain level of hunting, it is purely like you thrive for it. You look forward to those early mornings that people normally don't want to do.
mm,
You find enjoyment in the good, the bad, the ugly, every part of it. And like what did I say?
passion, faith.
Passion faith. I couldn't remember
You're
in a
good.
second.
You're good.
Starting to get towards my bedtime.
Yeah, you're good.
No, and then faith, it's really you walk out there every single time. There's no guarantee you shoot anything. There's no guarantee that you ever shoot another deer in your life,
Mm,
another duck in your life. It could all end tomorrow.
yep.
But you go out there every single time, you try your best, and you hope. You hope, you try your best, you pray, and you keep doing it. It's one of those things where you can't tell for sure it's going to work,
Yeah.
but you do it out of faith and commitment and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I agree with that. Faith is a big thing in hunting.
It really is.
And I feel like that's one thing that really brings the hunting community together. That's what I want to do. Kind of the thing that helps.
Mm.
Um, I'll try to find you one good last one.
All right.
How do you feel hunting has shaped you as a person outside of the hunting world?
Well, outside of the hunting world, let's see. It really humbles you. To be honest, it humbles you, and it really, if you're doing it right, I feel like once you're done hunting and that, and you go back home, you see your family, you see everybody, go sit down, eat, watch TV and all that. I feel like if you're doing it right, you just take it all in
Yeah.
because you're going out there where you don't got heating, you don't got AC, you don't
Yeah.
got TV. I mean, you can sit on your phone all you want, but then you're missing out on it. I don't like sitting on my phone. And then you get back, I feel like it's one of those things where you feel how much you reconnected, how much it kind of just grounded you.
Yeah. Back to the start, you just,
Yep, it's a very humbling experience, and I feel like that just kind of transfers into my day-to-day life of man. You get back to it, everything gets in your head. Like I said, you got them long work weeks. You don't
oh
want to
yeah.
do it anymore. You get out there and you sit there and you think about how minuscule everything really is. And just it grounds you. You go
Yeah.
back to being level headed. You forget about everything for a couple hours.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing. I agree with that 100%. I feel like it's just enough to humble you as a person. And it's just like you kind of learn, like, every day might not be a great day.
Mhm.
It can kick your ass every day, but as long as you get back up and you keep doing it,
Mhm.
eventually something's gonna line up perfect for you. And
That's what hunting is too.
yeah,
It's no different than your outside life. You go to work. You're expected to do everything perfectly over and
Yeah.
over again. When you go out hunting, you want everything to be perfect. You always want to shoot that big buck. But you're gonna have a ton of days where, hey, work didn't work out that day. I didn't shoot that big buck. And if you look at it, all connects.
Yeah.
And it really just it shows you how life works.
Well, I think that's pretty much a good wrap for today
Perfect.
for the thing. Thanks for coming on, Mason.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Make sure you spread the word for Precision X Outdoors.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it out there. Don't
Yeah.
worry. I'll
So you should be on hopefully around next week, Thursday-ish. You should be able to, you'll
perfect.
find yourself out there, if not sooner.
Perfect.
Depends how everything goes. And
I'll hit up a couple of my hunting buddies and
yeah, just like,
get them over here.
yeah, have them hand me a snap or just text me or something. And I'm usually free during the week. But if people listening or whoever wants to come on, give me a call, give me a text, anything. And it's just like, let's get a name out there, get everyone on.
Perfect. Yeah, we can
And
get this.
I'm down to have two, three guys in here and stuff. And it's a little better when you have a one-on-one. You feel a little more for the person and
Yep.
stuff. But yeah, it worked out good. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I'm sure you'll be back eventually.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'll be back in the
Yeah,
near future.
it's something, but
Like I said, I know too many people
exactly.
through the communities to not help you out here.
Yeah, so if you liked it, I guess like it and stuff and share it to a buddy or something. But pretty much what we do at the end, you just gotta say deuces.
Perfect.
So
I've stolen that from too many people. I say it every time, anyways. So
so deuces.
deuces.
So we'll see you guys next week.